The biggest issue is that the resources that are at hand right now, in the United States in particular, and the world in general, to create a source of energy are also the dirtiest and the most negative in terms of their environmental impact. In particular, coal. Coal is ubiquitous in the United States. We have hundreds of years of potential usage of coal before it would run out. And the challenge with coal, of course, is that it's very dirty. If you think about coal from a statistical point of view, what does it do to the environment? There's a way to measure greenhouse gas emissions with coal. Coal typically will release 1 kilogram or 1,000 grams of CO2 per every kilowatt hour of power that's produced by a coal-based electrical power plant. So to put that into perspective, if you think about what a kilowatt hour is, if you have a 100-watt light bulb and you have 10 of those, that's 1,000 watts or a kilowatt. And if you have those 10 light bulbs running for 1 hour, that's a kilowatt hour. So every time there's 10 light bulbs running in a house for 1 hour, you've used a kilowatt hours of power. So every time that's happening, a coal-powered plant is spewing almost half a pound of CO2 into the air. And to give you a sense of what that would look like, I brought along this little bag. This material represents the mass of carbon dioxide that's going every hour into the air, uncontrolled and very difficult to retrieve. So
from what now? This literally is...
This is the mass that what the CO2 gas would represent. I can't show you a gas since it would be invisible, but I can show you the mass of that gas. It would fill this room. It would fill far more than this room.
But what would be the equivalent? I mean, how much power would you have to use for that? Say it one more time.
10 light bulbs for an hour.
10 light bulbs for an hour. That's all it is.
And if you think about the number of houses there are in the world, and the number of light bulbs there are in the world, and the number of hours there are in the day and the year, you can imagine how much of this is being put into the atmosphere. So this is the problem with coal. Now, folks in the coal industry will say, well, let's go to clean coal. Well, the problem there is no such thing as clean coal. Yeah. It's more of a public relations device than a technology. Even conceptually, it's never been shown to work very effectively. There's no prototype plants with any kind of data. So this is the coal industry trying to avoid having to internalize what have been formerly externalized costs, namely the impact of the environment.